Hello. Yes, Eve, am I visible and audible properly?
Yes, sir. Are you ready?
Yes, definitely.
Yes. Let me add all the members.
Okay.
Now all the members have already joined. So now let us start with the sessions. So I thank you very much, Vivek sir, for helping Earth Technology to grow. And today, sir is going to discuss about the essential professional communication. That is the topics. Now, let me give you the brief details about the Professor Vivek Dave sir. So, he is the head of the department of the PIT MCA, Parul University. He has the 15 plus years of experience. That experience includes academic experience and research experience. He has already published more than 20 plus national and international publications in research papers and all research related activities. He has worked as a corporate trainer also, and he is selected as a translator by the IIT Madras for NPTEL courses, that are the online courses library. So he is working with academics as well as in a research things. So he is having the much more experience related with the communications, because the communication matters a lot. So today, Mr. Vivek Dave will explore about the essential professional communications to all our team members. I thank you very much, Vivek sir, for coming and helping us. Please, you can start with the sessions.
Thank you, Mr. Others, and thank you for having me with all of you. And I think in this pandemic time, the technology really did connect everyone, and this is the feasible medium to connect with all such versatile people, right? And I know that you all are very occupied with some predefined task, and still you are here. That shows your dedication and to learn something new. And I'm not here to teach you anything. I'll just share my experience. Since 15 years, I've been working as an academic professional. You can, call me the educator also, right? We are here to uh, take care about the education of the next generation, I would say. And you all the participants over here. They are the uh, important part of future India, the dreamed that we have, right, about India, our country. And the major part in this dream is to create a citizens that can cultivate not only uh, emotional quotient, social quotient, but also a professional quotient. And I would say that many people like me, right, we are coming from the native language background. That means our schooling and our graduations has been done in native language. And I think that is not a disadvantage, but I would call it as an advantage, benefit for all of us. When we are connected with our roots, to cultivate something, to learn something is will be very easy. And in last 5 to 6 years, I've been seeing that lots of professionals who are coming in this fields, IT and computer science, they are already equipped with lots of skill sets. And the new generation are doing really good. So first of all, I should congratulate all of you. But before I start my demonstration or presentation, you can say it, this will be a discussion session purely, right? Not a boring uh, public session. So let me tell you a story. What we need is, when I was at Gandhinagar, once I had visited Dhirubhai Ambani Institute, and there actually they have invited a batch of Air Force officers. And these Air Force officers are having an average age of 45, right? If you consider an average age of that batch, there are 60 people, and all of them are IAF officers. Now, they wanted to learn JavaScript. Can you believe at the age of 45, 50, they wanted to learn JavaScript because government might have launched some of the application software, right, in the aviation field. Now we reached there, and we have started our session after breakfast, heavy breakfast at 9 o'clock, and lunchtime was at 12 o'clock, right? So 9 to 12, you can imagine that, full focus, full dedication. Now, during the lunchtime, I have observed that lunch menu was very heavy, and almost everyone has occupied themselves with a heavy lunch. Post lunch session at 1 p.m., we had discussed. We were three trainers actually, and they were the same audience. 5 o'clock, the session was over, and you will be amazed or amused to know that not a single person have moved, disturbed behavior, right? Not a single disturbed behavior
Sir, your voice
from
is
them.
cracking.
Not a sudden movement, nothing. They just like this up to 5. They and they respond. Age of 45, 50, ladies and
Sir, your voice is cracking. Can you please switch off video temporary? Sir, you are not audible.
am I audible again to all of you? Okay.
Yes, yes. Now it's audible. Yes.
Fine, fine. So I was talking about the complete focus when they are learning something new, when they are listening to the trainers. I was only at the age of 23 years from me, right? Because I belong to the new age people. And the same dedication you will see the developed countries like Japan, like China, like America, when they people get together for something, for new adventure, let's say, for new project, for new task. So they are 100% committed to it. Right? So I hope that all the audience over here, they are 100% committed to something which we are discussing right now. Now, don't get me wrong, but in India, the knowledge of people is very much, because India is Vishwa Guru, right? So knowledge is adequate. But people use a slang language. People have a little bit of casual approach in all the tasks we give to them. all the communication they need to do, whether they are writing emails, whether they are writing messages. Now there is a probe, right, that when you are doing personal communication, you need to take your heart out. Now my recommend is, when you are writing professional communication, you need to take your mind out. And when you speak or when you write from heart, it will reach to heart, to the audience, to the recipient. When you write from a mind, it will reach to mind directly, right, to the recipient. And we are here to connect with the minds, right? It's known as connecting minds. And so let me just start with some of the tips which I've derived from web. Obviously the language is web based, but the tips which are coming out is very feasible when you write communications, not only email but to the messages. And every day you can see that as a head of department, after 15 years I have been worked at least 10 years as either a institute head or head of department. And on an average I sent 30 to 35 mails every day to my colleagues, to my students, to my bosses. We call them leaders, like to our leaders. So you can calculate the experience which I'm having in this part, in this domain. Right, so let me just share my screen, and we'll discuss. Same time we will demonstrate tips. Okay, are you able to see the screen? Okay,
Yes, it's visible.
good. Now, first of all, I would call it not as an email etiquette. The word is etiquette, but nowadays almost we are 20 hours online, or rather I would say 24 hours online than offline. So we are all living in a virtual world, right? Rather than living a real world, we are all living in a virtual world. So I call it, and the better word I found on the web is netiquette. That means when we are connected, you need to follow some etiquette in any communications, whether it is oral communication, whether it is written. And netiquette means it is a network etiquette, the proper way we can communicate and interact with each other, right? Using emails, messages over the internet. And as you can see, normally, if you call it, maybe we were better off without it, but what can anyone do about it? Right now you need to be connected all the times, whether with your family, to your friends, to your colleagues, to your teammates, to your leaders, connected to someone. And when you are connected, right, we normally avoid face-to-face communications. Even I have opportunity, I prefer to write text message. I prefer to write social media post rather than call someone, right? When I want to wish someone, right, let's say happy birthday, so I will write on the network. So that is why we all are a part of a network, and that is why you are totally dependent on technology, right? That is not perfect in technology. And why we are gathered here today, because when you use technology, many a time there is a chance of miscommunication. As I said, when you write with mind, it reaches to other minds, but when you don't apply your mind, then it will only reach to the eye, not get the meaning that you pursue to them, right? So, and it is more impersonal communications when you write email, so you are not physically available in front of that person. So then your responsibility is double, right? I can convey something in person very efficiently, but when I'm away and when I'm writing to him or her, then my responsibility is doubled, and it is almost robotic process, right? So let us start with the important helpful tips. When you write any communication, first of all, even today people do this mistake, they do not check spell and grammar. Now if you write 10 lines of email, and if there is one spelling or grammatical mistake, your 10 lines are wasted. I'm telling you, the clients, specifically international clients, if you are working client side, for example, if you made these kind of mistakes, right, then your impression is immediately down in front of them. Same way, while listening, right, not only writing, while receiving something, if you get the incorrect meaning, let's say someone from the out country, right, outside of India has mailed, then also your impression is immediately down. So first of all, I recommend all of you to check the grammars twice, thrice before you send it. We never they never read twice, right? Even after recording a voice message, they never read twice. Now companies like WhatsApp, they are launching a feature that people can listen before they send something. And why this happened? Because lots of miscommunications has already created, right, between corporate colleagues. Whenever you are writing something, you add the demo. I don't know whether my hello, is my mail screen is visible, right? So for example, I'm composing this mail to my colleagues, to my teammates. So how I would salute to them,
Sir, there
I
is a
will
network
start
issue, I think, from your end. So please switch off the
right?
video for temporarily.
Sir or ma'am, right? Uh, yes, Epi. Hello. Yes, shall I continue, Epi?
Yes, yes. Now it's audible.
Fine. Now, so dear sir or ma'am, right? Any. Now, let's say, for example, I'm sending this mail to my immediate boss or immediate leader, right? So then I'll change my salutation and I'll start with respected sir or let's say ma'am. Now, let's say I'm sending this mail to the president, to the CEO of the company, right? Or highest leadership, you are sending something. Now I will salute like this. Right? And there are many synonyms. I'm not saying that you use the exact word which I use, but I'll salute them as this. Okay? Honorable sir. Or understood? So that this tip says that when you are addressing to a specific person, your salutation should be different, right? Even if in India, this is not a habit, but now onwards, you please make this habit that sometimes when I want to create a personal bond with someone, right? When, for example, if he is known to me, and let's say my colleague, Professor Manish, let's take an example. So what I'll do is I'll write like this. Can you tell me what is the difference? When I say name, when I write name of someone, a personal bond will be created, and this link will help you to connect better with someone. Right? So your salutation should be like this with name. Dear Professor Mani, let's say respected Mr. Others, like this. Okay. So this is salutation, and they are saying that addressed to specific person. Now, always distinguish between formal and informal styles when writing. Many a times we see that people generally use informal words. Now, what are formal words? Formal words are like this, dear Professor Manish. But if I write this, then this is my personal communication. It cannot be my professional communication, right? Even if he is my friend, but right now I am on in the perimeter of organization, so I cannot avoid use of formal words. So many a time we have observed that the colleagues, students, teams, they have used many informal words, right? So please avoid them when you are writing professional communication. It should be professional words only, formal words only. Then always use a signature, right, with contact information. Can you see my footer, right? Look at this. Not only my basic information, but also contact information. Okay, so always create this footer for you, right, from today onwards. Then they say that be concise with your subject line. Let us say, let me give you an example. For example, if you have been asked to submit your project, then there are two ways. One is active voice and one is passive voice. I can also write that project, right? Project given to me is complete. Find as an attachment. This can be my line, right? But this is passive voice. Now look at this. I'm changing this line. We have completed a given project. Please find attachment for this scene. Can you see the difference now between two lines? Right? This is active voice. So be concise. We have completed a given project. Why should we, unnecessarily stretch this statement? Be very concise. We have completed a given project. Please find attachment for the same. Okay. So this is an useful tips for professional communication. Plus, be kind and respond promptly. We Indian people uh, are very hesitant to say sorry, please, gently, kindly, but these words make a very huge impact. Let me write down. If I don't want to use please word, right, then what I'll write is this: kindly find attachment. Do you see the difference now? Right? I am being gentle in my professional communication. Okay. Or let me tell you that you are asking for a work, right, of a given task. So what I'll do is, dear Professor Manish or dear Mr. Manish, a gentle reminder to submit. Right? So the same, I can only write that submit your work, right, within 30 minutes. But I'm writing that a gentle reminder to submit given work in 30 minutes. Same effect, but a gentle way. Yes. So be gentle, be kind. Use the words like kindly, gentle, please, thanking you, like this. Always at the end of, even I'm ending this mail, right? So I'll write this, thanking you with, let's say, best regards, right? So now your professional communication actually is divided into three parts. One is your start, and your start is very important. Your most important line that you want to convey must be in first paragraph. Fine. Then you can, write additional lines, but your first line. So that means in the first line, I have conveyed my message properly, that a gentle reminder to submit given when in 30 minutes, right? And then I am ending my mail. Do you understand this? Are you understanding, all of you? Any query up to this point? Right? Shall we go ahead in the next point, everyone? Now, be specific. They are saying that you always be specific about what you want. So already I have conveyed that I want the given work, right? And how you want. So I'll add reply to this mail, right? Or again, if I want to convey this kindly, so please reply to this mail, right? So what and how, both ways I have communicated what I want and how I want. Okay, so this is specific and concise language. And avoid attachments. They are saying that if you can form a mail, if you can convey something in a text, then do not create additional files, right? When you keep an attachment, many a times I have seen that either it is lost, someone does not read it, only they read mail, they never open attachment. Sometimes your attachment may not be opened properly, and if they do not open properly, your effort in the communication is washed away. Okay, so avoid attachment whenever possible. Then avoid slang and text writing. So as I said in my starting uh, time of this session, please avoid slang language. Slang language means avoid using abbreviation, then avoid using short words, avoid using casual language, like for example, what's up. So this is not a professional word, I'm sorry to say. So avoid using this slang languages. Okay, now let us move forward. And the next important part is avoid misunderstanding. So you please remember that you are connected by a network, you are not communicating in person. So that means remember that your messages may be missed, it may be ignored. For example, in company, if my terms and relations are not good with my teammates and my bosses, so my messages can be ignored by someone. They may not even open that my messages. So, or they may be forgotten, because always the leaders, they receive so many mails. I also receive more than 100 mails, from university, from students, from colleagues. So sometimes it is forgotten, right, lost. So you please remember that this kind of misunderstanding should not happen. You should follow up. If you do not receive a reply within a time frame, you should follow up with your communication. That as I said, a gentle reminder, you can send a second mail that, sir, dear sir, a gentle reminder to reply on this mail, right? Like this. Now, many a times I have seen that many people use capital letters, because capital letter messages and capital letter email subject, they stand up all right in the list. But this is not true. People normally get irritated by seeing capital letter. So avoid using capital letter. You can use combination of capital and small. Then always give credit to those who are deserving it. Many a times, for example, if we are working in a team and I'm communicating on behalf of my team, so also include name of those persons who have worked on your given project or who have supported you in achieving this task. So whenever you are communicating with this with permission, you can include their names also. Let's say instead of we, what I can do is I, along with Mr. Others, have completed a given project. Are you understanding this? So this is also an important part. And what I'll do is, in when I'm, for example, I'm sending this mail to someone, right? Let's say, and so I'll keep to the recipient. Let me just give my ID only, and in the part, I hope my screen is visible to everyone. Right? And in the CC, right, carbon copy, you already know about this. I will also include Mr. Others because he is a part of this task. So whenever you are communicating on behalf of someone, please include their names and please give proper credit. Right? Do not take credit. हाँ, अगर डांट पड़ने वाली है तो obviously you can take that the harsing to you. But credit जब मिलने वाली है तो always share your credit with your team, right? And remember that you do not have complete confidentiality and privacy. Right now, Google is everywhere. So, don't forget that your email is also being tracked by these companies, right? So, whenever you are passing on sensitive information, if possible, pass it in person, right? Do not include the confidentiality or the information which can cause you the legal problems in these emails, right? So these are the, as I said earlier, always reread before hitting send button. Be aware of who is in the to field. Double check it. CC, carbon copy, blank carbon copy, right? Reply, or please be careful. Sometimes what I do is, for example, I got a reply on this mail, for example. Let me just maximize it. Let's say I got a reply from this mail. Now, what I'll do is, let's say this, right? Now there are three persons, right, in this mail, two, and there are two person in the CC. So sometimes what I'll do is, instead of reply, I'll just write reply to all. So what will happen? Your reply will goes to three persons instead of one. So please double check the CC, BCC, everything. And then if you want to reply to all, click on reply all. Otherwise, you can just click on reply. So only the designated person should receive your communication. So always check this. Do not, divulge your username, password to others. These are some of the common basic. I will not go in deep into it. We will only focus on the essentials of professional communications, right? That is what I'll focus on. Now, do not forget to include your country as a part of your address and your area code as part of your phone number. Look at my footer. Can you see this? Office and mobile number. Now, my email, because nowadays all Indian organizations, companies, they are multinational, right? We are connected to the people. Mail or messages will reach, right? आजकल तो viral post का भी जमाना है ना, तो I don't in the future where my communication message mails will reach. So what I need to do is I should add my country code in my contact information. Okay, so this is important. So you can also generate your footer like this. Okay, then virus protection software. So I think do not consider it as a foolproof security. लोग क्या करते हैं कि I have antivirus, I don't have to worry about it. Nowadays there is a crack of every antivirus. So whenever you are doing professional communication, make sure that you have enough security on it, and avoid listing your emails addresses in publicly available. Now what I suggest is, as a professional in this IT world, you should have two email IDs, one for professional communication and one for personal communication. And never ever give your professional mail ID in any of the public websites, any of the social medias or gaming website. Never. Only restrict your professional mail only to communicate professionally. Okay, so otherwise what people do, right? They take your data, they sell your data to someone, and you will receive lots of junk. It may be possible that lots of spamming, lots of stalking will immediately start on your professional email, and hoga ye ki 3,000 4,000 mails, unread mails will be there in your professional mail inbox. So don't do this. Okay, then send the right message. As I said, avoid abbreviations as well as emoticons. There is a trend of emoticons. I don't know how. In personal communication, this is very helpful. Emoticons can express multiple words with a single image, but in professional communications, it creates negative impression. So please avoid emoticons, right? Emojis, it is also known as emojis. Now you should know your audience. As I said, whether you are communicating with your team, with your person at the same level, right? Whether the recipient of my message or mail, whether they are an aged or whether they are young, even age factor matters, even the position factor matters. So keep this in mind. Punctuations gives a bad impression, as I said in earlier part. Then separate facts from opinions. Now look at this. I'll just give you example. Right? For example, I'm writing something that I have completed this task, but in my opinion, this should be avoided. Do you see anything wrong in this statement from the audience? If anything wrong, no grammar mistake, no spelling mistake, active voice, every tips that I have given.
Sir, we are running out of time.
Yeah.
Approximately 30 seconds are there.
Fine, no problem. I'll just conclude, right? So the wrong is this part. When you are professionally communicating, when you are writing mail and messages, don't be a judge, right? Only be a writer. Don't give your opinion, just convey your message, just convey your facts, and that's it, right? अगर आपको लगता है तो personally convey करिए, not in the answer. Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. I thank you very much, Vivek sir, for sharing your valuable time with technology. Let us conclude the session. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you again.
Thank you very much. Thank you to all audience for listening.